In this video, we are going to talk about the heavy armor professions and which one you may want to play. Naturally, with Guild Wars 2, most people will just say play them all, but if you're limited in time or prefer to find a main, I hope this video can help you. If you're interested in the light or medium professions, we do have a video for each of those as well, and I'll post those below. First, a quick introduction. We are Project Dyad, a married couple that loves to game together. We absolutely love Guild Wars 2 and are happy to share that with others. In this video, we will be talking about 3 different professions and their 3 elite specs. You will start out as a base profession, and once you hit level 80, you can start investing hero points to unlock the spec you enjoy, or all 3 if you prefer. So let's take a look at the Warrior, the Guardian, and the Revenant. As a note, you will not be able to play Rev on a free-to-play account. This requires you to purchase the expansions, Heart of Thorns and Path of Fire. The Warrior is your normal brawler. Big heavy armor, a ton of weapon choices, and some cool mechanics. Warriors can go all out on damage, or they can bring banners which will pulse boons for their team. Warriors build adrenaline the longer they are in combat, which allows them to use devastating skills to finish off their enemies. Warriors will have 3 elite spec choices, the Berserker, Spellbreaker, and Bladesworn, which we will check out next. Berserkers are a crazy amount of fun. They tend to succumb to their rage and go full berserk, which gives them increased attack speed and access to some really fun burst skills. Berserkers are really good at condition damage, but also power DPS. They will unlock the ability to use a torch and turn themselves into a fire field, burning everything around them. They make use of rage skills, which will extend your rage duration and give you larger burst windows. Spellbreakers are a bit different in the Warrior line. This spec gives them access to dual wielding daggers and meditation skills. They also get the ability to full counter. They are generally played in PvP or World vs. World, but you can honestly play Spellbreaker anywhere. They have great boon strips and reveals, which is why they work well against other players. Bladesworn is the newest spec added for Warrior. It gives them access to a gun saber as their new class mechanic. They focus on building up their flow so they can unleash dragon slashes, which do crazy high DPS, but also take some time to get the rotations correct. They will be able to use pistol offhand weapons and armament skills. Next, we're going to talk about the Guardian. This profession can do everything and do it extremely well. Guardians make use of shouts, sigils, and even summoning phantom weapons. Their class-specific mechanic is Virtues, which will offer different buffs and effects like granting Aegis to the party, healing, or even causing burning damage. If you want to pick a class that can fill virtually every role and is in high demand, Guardian's a safe choice. After getting to level 80 and acquiring hero points, you can unlock the 3 elite specs, the Dragonhunter, Firebrand, and Willbender. Dragon Hunters are super effective hunters who utilize their new trap skills and newfound access to the longbow to take out their enemies from any distance. They are very high DPS but still offer support through their updated virtues, such as leaping to a target location and providing healing, or pulsing Aegis to their team. The Firebrand is the spec that can really do it all for Guardian. They can effectively provide heals, quickness, and still do a ton of condition damage. Firebrand gains access to mantras and the ability to use an axe in their main hand. This is the jack of all trades kind of spec again, and one of the nicest aesthetics as well. A Firebrand will never have a hard time finding a group for any kind of PvE content. Willbender is the newest spec for Guardian and is primarily a PvP spec, but definitely has its uses for PvE. It will grant you access to sword as an offhand weapon. Willbenders have an insane amount of mobility and can get around a fight really fast. You're able to use physical skills like Whirling Light, which lets you perform a spinning kick around you. Their virtues also change to become mobility skills that leave trails of flames behind them and grant different buffs depending on which one is active. Last but definitely not least is the Revenant. This is a profession that focuses on controlling spirits from the mist to grant you new skills. Revenants are very different because they do not let you choose different utility skills independently, but rather they choose 2 spirits that they have to cycle through to manage resources. These are known as stances. Revenants are a perfect class for people who love to manage resources to maximize their usefulness. Revs have 3 elite specs, which are the Herald, the Renegade, and the Vindicator. The Herald is a support spec that calls upon Glint using the legendary Dragon Stance, which lets Revenants use faucets to provide boons and support to allies. They will have the ability to use shields as well. Revenant's Ancient Echo will be replaced with Faucet of Nature, which will change depending on your stance. Faucets can be activated and then used again to consume them to apply a new effect, making Herald super fun to play. Renegades use the power of Kala Scorchrazor and her legendary Renegade Stance, as well as gaining access to short bows. This spec works super well with conditioned DPS since the short bow provides a lot of conditions very quickly. Renegades will use Citadel Orders as a profession mechanic and summon Char from the Mist as utility skills. This is a spec I personally had a ton of fun with when I was playing Revenant. Vindicator is a unique spec that changes the Revenant's dodge to a leap, which does a ton of damage. Vindicators use greatswords and have access to the legendary Alliance Stance, which is a swappable stance with 2 forms on its own, one being focused on DPS and one focused on support. This spec has a lot of potential and can bring a lot to any team. Thank you for taking the time to watch our video, and hopefully you saw a class or profession that you would enjoy. Guild Wars 2 has a lot of unique specializations and so much you can do with each one. We do stream 4 days a week over on Twitch, so feel free to check us out there and ask any more questions that you may have.
I guess that I was hoping I could break your